Hey guys, Lord here, back again with another action figure review. Today we'll be taking a look at the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Universal Monsters crossover series, Master Splinter as Dr. Van Helsing. This, of course, is brought to us by the fine folks over at NECA Toys, and not gonna lie, probably one of the weaker additions to the line because A, he's not a monster, he's just a dude, and B, like the Bride of Frankenstein April, he doesn't really have enough cool factor going for him like, say, the Phantom of the Opera, Casey Jones, or Invisible Man Donatello. The last couple of these I reviewed, way back during, actually I think those videos were on Halloween itself, so there you go. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, why don't we cut right to the chase and get into the meat and taters of this review and take a look-see at all Master Splinter has to offer in terms of accessories, starting off with some extra hands here. True NECA fashion, they always include extra hands. Got a couple of grip hands, regular grip hands. That's cool, I guess. If you're into that. We also have a pair of, I think these are meant for the crossbow, but he does come with a pair of these. Kind of trigger finger, but not trigger finger hands. Oh, this one actually has two fingers out. This one just has one. I didn't notice that before. Then he also has this alternate head without his hat. But why would you display him without his hat? This is stupid, but you got that option if you so choose to pick it. That said, he does come with, as I mentioned, the crossbow. And what is a crossbow without some spikes to shoot from it? He does come with not one, but he comes with 3 of these. And then he also comes with one with a little garlic on it. There's a clove, a garlic clove. And he also has one that just kind of looks like an arrow. That said, I can't, either I'm stupid or these don't actually go on here. Which kind of sucks, because the Lexington from the Gargoyles line, you could put the spikes on his, but it does not appear that you can do that with these. Now, if you clip these little ends off, you could probably get them to stay, but I wouldn't advise that. And then he does also come with the bandolier here with a knife that you can take out of it if you want, and then fail to put back in properly like a doofus. And then he does come with 3 little stakes. I almost called them spikes, but stakes. So you can drive them through the heart of, hopefully, Dracula Shredder, who has taken his sweet-ass time getting revealed and produced. I don't know what the deal with that is, but there you go. You got 3, I can almost call them spikes again, stakes, and 1 knife, and then he does have a quiver for all the arrows and stuff, and a little spot for the crossbow, so that's kind of cool. Also appears to have a peg hole, or a peg on it. I didn't notice that before. So it actually can hopefully stay on his back in one spot. Let me take a closer look at him here. Is there a peg hole? There's got to be one somewhere around here. Has to be around this area, right? I don't know. There must be a peg hole somewhere on this guy. Is it right there? Might be right where my thumb is. I don't know. I'll find that later. I'll just throw it on him. Make your pain and suffering not last 1,000 lifetimes. There it is, right there. But really cool looking figure. He's on a stand. I don't think he really needs the stand, but it does help him. But there you go. Comes with one of those. Because I think he's supposed to stand kind of degenerate like this. But I honestly can't remember. He's using the movie Splinter body, like lower legs. I don't know if he's got that whole body underneath all this, but he's definitely using the legs, probably using the hands and the tail. And the head, for the most part, they just glued some glasses to it. you know. I think the glasses on this head on mine came unglued in a spot, but I'm going to leave that alone. Either way, as far as articulation goes, his head can rotate, look up and down a little bit. Not a ton, mind you, but enough. Shoulders can go out to the side, back down. They do rotate forward and back. No butterfly to speak of. He's got a swivel at the top of the elbow. He's got a double elbow hinge there. I heated this before I moved him because I saw in Anthony's Customs review that he bent the elbow and it kind of stressed a little bit. Hopefully mine's not doing that because I did heat it up first, but you never know with NECA, I guess. The quality could always be better. I think we all can agree on that, right? But he does have a swivel at the lower elbow, and then he does have a swivel at the wrist with a hinge. That works fine. Popping this arm up. He does have a waist twist, essentially, and you can rotate this thing all the way around. So that's good. I heated that up as well, just because it was a little stiff before, but it does work. He does get a little lean out of that, but it's not enough to write home about. It's very minuscule. His hips are on little ball peg joints. They do kick in and out, forward and back. He does have a swivel at the knee. He's got a thigh swivel built into the hip there. He does have a single knee that does bend a little bit. And then the ankles do also bend a little bit and also rotate a little bit. And then the toe joint gives you a little bit of range there. So, not the most articulated figure in the line by a long shot. I think the best figure, if you want to just pose one of these guys, is probably the Casey Jones, because he's got the least amount of shit in the way, but, you know, whatever. He looks like a rat dressed as Van Helsing. I don't know what to tell you. That said, maybe my buddy Altenda could answer this, but I'm pretty sure Van Helsing in the Dracula movie did not wear this brown trench coat and hat getup. Was that not a thing until like the Hugh Jackman movie? Because if that's the case, then I'm glad they picked that over the original. Because it's not the most interesting character design, you know, it's just a suit at that point, right? His tail does rotate and has a bendy wire in it, but to avoid what happened to my Lexington, I'm going to keep it like that. Just take my word for it. There's a bendy... Alright, fine. Forced my hand. See? Bendy wire. Bends. But this is really stiff like PVC, so I don't think it's going to tear or anything. So, I guess that's that, but... At any rate, putting that down. Why don't we pop his noggin off here? Try and get all his gear on him. I'm actually going to put the crossbow in the quiver. It's got this little post here. It does allow it to slide in to the little loop-de-loop on the back of the quiver. Just gotta get in there, and it's kind of tricky. It's kind of tricky. Once it's in there, it's not going nowhere, but it's not the easiest thing to get in there. Alright, that's probably as good as we're going to get with that. Why don't we slide this up and over. Let's see if I can peg this in, because I didn't know it had a spot to peg in. Kind of pegs in, it kind of doesn't. That's NECA for you, I guess. But it does help it from sliding off him, which I guess is good. Now let me see if I can pop this head on all the way without messing everything up. Because it's not easy to do. get it earlier, but of course I did not have the camera on, so I think I got it. I think I got it. If not, it's not going anywhere, so I'm just gonna leave it as is. I'll key with that later, but there he is with his crossbow on his back, and now we'll load up all these arrows and things on him. Starting off with the one that looks the most like an arrow, which I can't seem to find. There it is. Start off with that and the garlic clove first. Pop those in. We got the 2 or the 3 that are just kind of spikes. I think they're all the same length too. So stick those back there next. Two, and then the last one. Numero 3, number 3. Pushing that hill. I want to say that head is on there all the way, but I honestly don't know. I think it is. I'll monkey with that later, but there he is, all geared up, ready to hunt some monsters. Potentially his own sons, because, yeah, I'm trying to figure that out. Why is he the monster hunter and all his sons are monsters? That's kind of... You didn't do something right there, Paul. You didn't do something right. So, with that being said, I can get this fool centered. That's about as good as it's going to get. Right there. It is time now that we move right along. Take a look there at some size comparisons. First up, here is good old Master Splinter as Dr. Van Helsing, alongside a couple more, we'll say, interesting additions to the TMNT Universal Monsters crossover line. We have Wolfman Jack, Raphael, and Creature of the Black Lagoon, Leonardo. Reviews of those coming up over the course of the next couple days, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, you can see that Splinter is a little shit. Literally a little shit. Seems to me like he's undersized. I don't know how the movie scaling worked per se, but in my beloved 2000X, 2003 era Ninja Turtles, Splinter and the Turtles were close to the same size. I think he might have been a head shorter, but he seems very, 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 very small here. And I can only imagine that Shredder's going to be a head taller than these two. So, I don't know if he's, well, fit for the job of taking out old Shredder. I actually wouldn't mind seeing Karai as was a Lucy Harker. So I think she's a vampire hunter too. Huntress. Whatever, but taking these two out. Carefully standing them up because Raph does have that bear trap around his foot, and if not set down properly, that thing's gonna go all over the place. Actually, he's gonna fall on his butt if I don't lean him up against somebody, so there we go. Bringing our 2 regulars. The Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibilith. Right there. And the infamous 11 Spawn, who is obviously going to be a hell of a lot taller than a freaking rat. So, with that being said, it's time now that we wrap things up. Some final thoughts. Overall, and even though I do still really enjoy good old Master Splinter as the vampire hunter Dr. Van Helsing here, I have to agree with the majority of people into this Universal Monsters crossover line and say that along with the Bride of Frankenstein April O'Neil figure that I looked at, gosh, almost probably a year and a half ago now, Master Splinter as Dr. Van Helsing is probably one of the weaker additions to this line as a whole, because we've got a lot of cool stuff in this line. Whether you like the Hunchback Leo or not, that was a fun figure. Mummy Mikey was a fun figure. Frankenstein Raphael was a fun figure. And while, you know, I'm kind of indifferent towards the Invisible Man Donatello, I did really like the Phantom of the Opera Casey Jones. And I have the Creature of the Black Lagoon Leonardo and Wolfman Raphael on the docket for reviews this week as well. So again, stay tuned for that. But those are also very, very fun figures. So, you know, while Splinter I don't think is bad or terrible or god-awful by any means, he just falls short compared to the rest of the line, just like that April did. And to me anyways, the Invisible Man Donatello, because, you know, it's just not the coolest monster ever, right? At least April is a monster. Donnie's a monster. This guy is not a monster. He's just a dude. So, kind of hard to sell just the dude, though he tends to be sold out in a lot of places. I got mine on Big Bad Toy Store, so maybe they're one of the last ones that have it. Maybe Entertainment Nerds got it. I don't know. But either way, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. I said what I said. If you don't like it, kiss my ass. So, with that being said, until next time, I'll catch you guys later.